It's always entertaining to listen to Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. And here's her latest.
We win in November. I'm sorry to tell you, you're not going back to brunch. We're not going back to brunch. That's not happening. Unless you're doing a little self-care break in your house, especially, etc. But there is no going back after November.
I guess we're not going to be going back to brunch, evidently. And I also love her use of the term etc. Usually when she gives examples, she can only think of one example. So she gives example and goes etc. It's kind of like, have you been to many countries outside the United States? Yes, I have. I've been to many countries such as France, etc. And here is a woman, a true ignoramus, I have to say, who, although being an economics major, recently said that she had learned some valuable lessons from the economist Milton Keynes. She took Milton Friedman and John Maynard Keynes and got Milton Keynes. I don't know if she got this from some idiot professor of hers who's just as dumb as she is, or if she was just a dumb student and conflated two economists, probably more likely. In any event, we're tempted to be completely cavalier, but we shouldn't, because I think she's trying to tell us two things. One, that we're not going back to brunch means we're not going back to work. She wants coronavirus to be sort of perpetual. And this gives us a certain insight into the type of socialism the Democrats are pushing today. Very different, by the way, than Marx. Marx was all about the working class, and he assumed the working class would work. But the Democratic left today prefers people not to work. Why? Because then they can give them a sort of monthly subsidy, universal basic income, if you will. Sit on your couch forever. We'll give you money. Why? Because we want to turn you into a drone. We want to make you dependent on us and politically dependent on us, because pretty soon you're going to lose the energy and the capacity and even the interest in working, and that's where we'll be there to give you a meager livelihood in exchange for your lifelong political support. This is the technique of the socialist left now. But I think she's saying more than that. She's also saying that our society will never be the same. And this shows us that the socialist left is not just about economic confiscation. It's ultimately about destroying the guardrails of society. It's about overturning our moral values. It's about leaving no institution unturned. And it's also about enforcing a regime of conformity. That's kind of the point of the Black Lives Matter Antifa thugs on the street. I think it was Goebbels, also a socialist, who said, who controls the street controls the nation. Meaning that if you can create an atmosphere in which people have to do your bidding, they just don't want to be hassled, they don't want to be beaten up, they don't want their birthday tables overturned, then you're going to submit to the socialist regime. And I think this is the tyranny that Ocasio-Cortez is presenting, packaged in her kind of goofball, innocent expression. So if we vote these people into office, we're in for a lot of trouble, a lot of misery, etc.